Hello and welcome to Diecast Restos. If you celebrate, I hope you've had a great Christmas. I'm recording this in the heat of summer, as today's build is actually a Christmas gift. After my Autoalex MX-5 build back in February, Georgia got in touch asking if I could recreate her partner Jamie's MX-5. She sent over some pics, and this is what I need to replicate. They're also looking for a name for the car, so put your suggestions in the comments. I started with sourcing the wheels, which I think are a pretty good match. I've got some pop-up headlights for it too, as well as a hardtop roof. So the as yet unnamed Mazda MX-5 is a 1994 model in British racing green. Georgia tells me that it has always been Jamie's dream to own one and have it as a track car. That day finally came in 2021 when he woke Georgia at 5 AM to make the 478-mile round trip from their home in Wales to Canvey Island in Essex. Georgia says that it was well worth the 8-hour drive to see him so happy. That was the day the money pit began. Since that day, Jamie has had just one goal in mind: to make the Mazda the ultimate track car, while taking Georgia along for the ride. She openly admits that she knew nothing about cars, and until around 2 years ago was quite content in being the passenger princess. Since then though, the car has been a lifeline. It has made her realise that changing your oil really isn't that difficult, and it has been a project that the pair of them have worked on together. The car has brought them a lot closer together in the process of working on it, and it has helped them to build their relationship. Jamie has always been into cars, so for him this is a passion project very close to his heart. He wants to thrive with everything he's got, and for Georgia it has been an incredible learning curve that she says she would never have been interested in if it wasn't for those cute pop-up lights. That makes it imperative for me to get those headlights right then. Over the last couple of years, Jamie and Georgia have done a great deal to the car. They started with BC Racing coilovers and a Sport Cat before moving on to more recent, bigger changes. They have stripped the engine down and fitted a 280 horsepower Garrett turbocharger. The Mazda has gone from strength to strength, and Georgia would go as far to say that if Jamie were to choose between her and the car, it would be the car, and she wouldn't blame him. Careful with your answer there, Jamie. Seriously though, it's evident that they both love this car. For Jamie, it's the best track car that he could ask for, and for Georgia, it makes her so happy that Jamie's dream car has become a reality, and that he gets to live it every day. Stories like these are why I love doing custom builds for people's project cars. It's a great opportunity to share some inspiring stories and the love people have for their machines. It also inspires me to put everything I can into replicating their creation as best I can. I know I'm not the world's best customizer, far from it, but with the background and stories that are shared, I can honestly say I put my heart and soul into each and every one of my project builds for the owners. That said, let's turn our attention to the build itself. The interior of the car is going to be concealed in the main once that hardtop roof has been attached. I had originally intended to fit a hardtop to Autoalex's Phil. However, I tried to remove the infilled window to expose the roll cage and all of those stickers stuck all over it. But with the 3D printed roof so brittle, it started to snap as soon as I tried. It just isn't structurally sound enough to modify at this scale. I'll show you how I circumvented this shortly, but for now, here's Tamiya's British green going on to replicate the real car's British racing green. I'm loving the colour already after just one coat. The base plastic was painted grey, and as this is slightly exposed, I want it painted black. There, that should do it. With the hardtop, I noticed a bunch of divots across the surface of the plastic, so I need to rub it down and get it re-primered. Speaking of primer, it's now the turn of the rims, which I sourced from Diecast Details. As per, links to the sources of any parts used can be found in the video description. After that primer has set, they get a base coat of black, ready to accept a metallic coat of gold later on. With the hardtop now ready to receive paint, I first give it PS31 Smoke, which I hope will look effective as rear glass. I'll give this a few coats, seeing as it is a translucent paint and I'll need to mask it off later on. Now my attention turns to a touch of detailing, giving the pop-ups a black background and outline. Like Alex's Phil, the side lights have been replaced by intakes, so I paint them black too. All the other markers and turn signals receive a base layer of chrome now. The door handles and mirror glass are also filled in. Next, it's time to give the rear light clusters their base coat of chrome, ready for receiving red and orange Sharpie colour later. This effect, when teamed with Citadel Gloss Nuln Oil, gives the clusters a deeper, more realistic appearance. Now the rims receive their first coats of paint in TS84 metallic gold. These need dulling down a tad, so over the gold goes some more smoke. This will be in reduced quantities compared to that back window. I like the effect though and think it's a pretty decent match. Next, the pop-ups get their eyes, a hint of Molotow chrome and later enhanced with Citadel gloss. Then the turn signals and markers are all doused with orange Sharpie. As the light cluster is cast as one big block, I have to draw the shape of the indicators by hand. After that, I use the red Sharpie to fill in the remaining space. It doesn't look like much, but they'll come to life after that Citadel treatment. Armed with my black Artistro pen, I go a bit overboard on the windscreen surround. That isn't all black. It has body coloured pillars. I later realised this and corrected myself. The base also gets a bit of love with some Molotow chrome on the moulded in features. The tailpipe is quite a nice touch, so I retain that on this build. The polycarbonate smoke paint needs a clear coat to protect it. I mask over it for the glass for the hardtop while I'm painting the rest of it green. It's not much to look at yet, but I'm hopeful it'll come out looking respectable. The reversing lights are dabbed on using my 1mm Molotow pen before switching my attention to Citadel glossing all of the lighting on the body. Here's where I rectify that window surround with some green Artistro paint. And now it's that satisfying masking tape removal, if I can ever get a grip on the edge of it. After it's been clear coated, it should look the real deal. We'll see how it looks once it's sat on the body. Over the Artistro goes green Sharpie to give the surround a darker and glossier appearance. Now it's time for the number plate decal application. The front plate I'm applying onto white styrene sheet, the same as I did on Phil. This will then hang off the smaller cast-in mount on the front of the car. For the rear, it will be directly applied. Each decal is set with Mr. Mark softer solution with the excess rolled out. To attach that front plate, I glue it on with some Gorilla Glue clear gel. It's an intricate process, but it comes out looking how I wanted it. With that in place, all of the detail is locked in with a coat of clear. So let's put the unnamed MX-5 together. Over that central post goes the windscreen. Following that in over the same post is the interior piece. Then I can connect the base. That is secured with two 3mm M2 screws. The final thing to do is to attach that roof. I use Yoo-hoo adhesive to connect both, as this doesn't leave marks or residue. So this was the Hot Wheels model I started with on my journey to recreating Jamie's unnamed MX-5 as a gift from his partner Georgia. This car evidently means a lot to them both, Jamie in particular. So if you have a suggestion for a name for this car, pop it in the comments. You never know, they may pick your idea. Drop your thoughts on the build in the comments too. But let's take a look at the end result. I spent a ton of time studying photos and conversing with Georgia in getting this MX-5 recreation exactly right. I'm especially pleased with the look of the pop-up lights. The roof has come out quite well in spite of that solid rear window. I don't think the smoke paint has done too bad a job at replicating the glass though. The wheels are a good match to the real set, while the paint is also a close hit. It was great to highlight all the cast-in detailing to this build, and I've enjoyed working on it. I hope that Jamie enjoys his surprise from Georgia too. Don't forget to help them out in their quest to name the real car, and let them know what you think in the comments. If you fancy a custom car of your own, get in touch. My email address is in the video description, or hit me up on Instagram. But all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.